Welcome to the live stream. I am your host, Some Random Guy Speaks, Tony G. And I am back once again for another interesting live stream. We're going to be talking about AOC versus Chuck Schumer and things. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about it. I kind of did a prelude yesterday and day before on my live streams. I'm actually doing more regular live streams again, but we got a lot to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Alejandria, we're gonna be talking about her, Casca or Acosto Cortez. We're gonna be talking about her. Everybody just call her AOC because that's just too much wording. But yeah, she has been a rising star in the Democratic Party for sure amongst the young voters that are Democrats. And we're gonna hold off for a minute and try to wait for other people to come in on a live stream. So therefore we can go into it and stuff. I just find it very interesting because there's a lot that have happened and things. So for you guys that are hopefully are coming in, we're gonna be basically talking about what is going on. You may hear planes overhead. Once again, I'm here at the airport, had a ride into the airport. So now I am here. So pay no attention to that. But most importantly, we're going to just be talking about, AOC replacing Chuck Schumer's seat in the 2028 elections, even though it has not been official, because I know with AOC, she's trying to keep it under wraps. But I believe that she is leading in the polls for the seat. It's like about 55% for AOC versus 35% or 33% with Chuck Schumer, somewhere around there, those numbers, I do believe. So AOC, uh, New York, So we're gonna go ahead on and get it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just waiting on other people to come into the chat, and then we can basically talk about it. You know. So Representative AOC, she's out of New York, and the Senator Chuck Schumer is out of New York as well. So both of these Democratic position seats, because she really wants that seat. The Democrats in the future, they're looking for younger talent. They believe that the younger talent is going to carry or save the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying? So I find that to be very interesting because, I mean, I always said before, anybody is welcome to run. This is what America is about, even though I don't align with their politics. But at the same time, they are, allowed to run. I said it. I said I want AOC to run. I want her to run for that senator seat. More than likely, AOC will get that senator seat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it real, she's gonna get that seat. So because her approval rating is like 55%, I believe, over 33% with Chuck Schumer, somewhere around those numbers. She's very popular. And amongst the Democrats as well, you know what I'm saying? Because they're going with a younger and things, Jasmine Crockett couldn't pull it off. But AOC, this is going to be the future senator in New York. It's going to happen, right? And like I said before, I welcome it, you know, because we're going to talk about it. And if people don't show up, I'm just going to go ahead and run the live stream and just say skip it, right? So, in fact, I'm just gonna let's see. Do I have anything else before I go into? Yeah, the live streams have been pretty successful talking about things, but I feel like this matters, because right now on the Democrat side, they are in disarray like never before. And this is right now, they are very, very pissed off at Hakeem Jeffries. They're pissed at Chuck Schumer. They are mad about it. They are mad. They were saying how Chuck Schumer does not have any type of backbone, spineless jellyfish, basically. I didn't heard a lot of stuff. And that he's old, Hakeem Jeffries don't have no personality, just like a android on stage. This is stuff that people have been saying about these people. So therefore, the Democrats are going to be going towards someone younger. And this is the thing they're trying to do. This is supposed to be the future. AOC leading the charge, because like I said, man, the party is done anyway. It's doesn't have anything. But I felt the need of wanting to talk about something a little different. Yeah, something a little different. Yeah, something a little different is what I wanted to talk about. So the question is, will AOC replace Chuck Schumer's Senate seat? That's the question. And let's go in and get it, right? So as of October 2025, Representative AOC, she's the representative of New York, right? They both are. Now she has not announced any plans for a challenge or replacing Chuck Schumer. Not of yet. But, since right now Chuck Schumer is the senator of the primary, he's actually the senator of New York, right? Both are. She's not a senator; she's a representative, right? So 2028, the primary for the New York Senate seat, right? Chuck Schumer, the Senate minority leader, right? Is up for re-election in November 2028, right? After um, filling paperwork and running again in April 2025. However, speculation, right, about AOC is mounting, right, as a primary bid, as it intensifies, right? Admin Democrat infighting, which is going on. I said that earlier. We all know this, particularly over the ongoing government shutdown. Now, this is really, really bad right now for Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries as well, because that now that and this is see, the thing about it, they all wanted to shut down. Chuck Schumer had it right. Remember back then, this was a while back. What was that? May, March? April, one of those times when Chuck Schumer, right, he didn't want to shut the government down. He voted against it. And the Dems tore into his ass big time, right? Because Chuck knew, right, if he would push for the shutdown, Trump was going to do then what he's doing now. Trump holds both of the Trump card, right? And this is exactly what it is. For them, for the Dems pushing a shutdown, ladies and gentlemen, it's really, really sad and bad. They pushed for the shutdown, and now they got their wish. They never in a million years thought that Trump was going to do what he did, slashing and cutting the jobs never before. And guess who the Dems are blaming it on? So it's damn if Chuck do or damn if he don't. But they're infighting right now. You know what I'm saying? They are. I mean, and we heard about Fetterman too. We done heard about him and what he made his big statement on. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fetterman is one of the few that he has common sense, logic. The rest of them, they on that bull, really. But I don't. I mean, like I said before, I welcome, you know, AOC to run as the senator. You know what I'm saying? Because either way, it's going to be the same outcome. It's going to be the same outcome. But they going with somebody young, someone nice looking, or halfway nice looking. You know what I'm saying? Got to put the halfway, right? And then let's go ahead and go with the rest of it, right? So, however, the speculation about AOC mounting as a primary bid has intensified. The admin Democratic infighting, particularly over the outgoing government shutdown, right? Now in 2 days. And Schumer has passed decisions to avert shutdowns, right? By supporting Republican backed bill, right? This is remember what I was saying before? And he should have did the same thing like he did before, back in April. That's right, it was in April. And I'm bringing this point up because Chuck knew, right? The rest of them, oh, shut it down. How could you be against shutting down or whatever. They see the Dems. See again, Trump is not a he's not a common politician. He's a businessman, so he thinks differently. You know what I'm saying? He thinks differently. And right now, I know it may hurts. It hurt for you Dems. It really do. It hurts you guys because you guys don't really have anything right now, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, what it is. Chuck Schumer knew. He knew the truth, right? But with the young Democrats, they're pushing and looking for generational change within their party. But here it is. Sometimes older and more experience, wins the race because the young Democrats are just looking at this. They just looking want to get a younger face in there. But you still got to face the outcome. Chuck knew what he was doing back in April when he went against his party by not shutting down the government sooner. He knew. He knew, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and then he gets ridiculed for it. And now when he does agree with and the only reason that Chuck Schumer, let's go going to keep it 100. We keep it 100, keep it above. The only reason that Chuck Schumer, right, went along with his Democratic Party was as simple as this, because his seat as the senator in New York is being threatened by AOC. We already know AOC is coming for that seat. She don't have to make it early. It's too early right now, but we know that's what it is. She's ambitious. She's young, and she's been told that she's a rising star in the Democratic Party. That's what she's been told. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it, and many of you don't see it. But they like her fiery speech, young, energetic. This is what it really is, though. And she could push these woke agenda, progressive type of ideology, is what I call it, policies. And that's exactly what she's being pushed to do. She's being groomed for it. You know what I'm saying? And you notice you don't really see in her a whole lot, right? I mean, it's the truth, you know? So this is basically what it is, though, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Schumer had it right by not back in April 2025 by not agreeing to shut down the government. Remember, he got his ass ridiculed for that. Seriously. He really did. He got his ass ridiculed, you know, just talking about it. There is a infighting that is going on amongst the Democratic Party. They are in disarray like never before. Their backs are up against the wall, and they don't really know what to do. They don't have an answer. They just thought this shutdown was going to be all and tell all, right? And look what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. The polls show in what is it? I believe the polls were showing uh Alexandria Court what I'm saying, AOC, right? It shows that she was in the leading forerunner, front runner, right? Because again, young Jim Democrats want a younger face. They want a fresher face. Somebody that could carry these ideology politics, and that's really what it is. I mean, we know she's coming for the seat, ladies and gentlemen. She is coming for that seat. There I go. I do apologize. Thought I had a ride, got a little bit of a lag. But once again, they're going with a younger face, younger, like, because Alejandro, well, we know this, AOC is being groomed. Make no mistakes about it. She's being groomed for the future of the Democratic Party. That's just how it is, you know? Now, here it is, though, um, Chuck Schumer is in big trouble. Hakeem Jeffries are in big trouble. As I said earlier, these two are in serious trouble. And the other Democrat, I guess you could say, leaders and so forth, they're mad with these guys. I don't see them guys really surviving too much longer, because they're going to end up either primarying them. That's probably what's going to end up happening, ladies and gentlemen. We already know the handwriting on the wall. But as I said earlier, Chuck knew back in April when all the Dems wanted to do a shutdown, Chuck knew and this is one of the things. So, Chuck, you were smarter then than you are now. The only reason you're doing it now because your seat, your Senate seat, is in jeopardy of losing to AOC. That's just the real reason as to why. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit further, right? Um, these are the things here, and I know it may sound a little boring, but it is what it is in regards to this. Um, I already went over the shutdown core reasons as to why. We already did that yesterday. Ain't no sense in me rehashing that and things like that because there's a lot of infighting, big time. And I knew that John Fetterman was going to leave the Democratic Party as he should because he's him with what he because he has common sense. He sees a head writing on the wall. He sees, and then we're gonna probably start seeing if John Fetterman can leave the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen. And I do believe if he haven't left, I believe briefly reading somewhere. I think he may have. I'm not 100% for sure. You guys can probably tell me if he left the Democratic Party or not. But a lot of us on the right do think that he's going to leave that party. And I think there's going to be other Dems because you got some Dems that are looking at this. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard, she been left. She said, "Man, I'm out of here." She have alienated people in their own party. It's true, and they alienated John Fetterman. He gonna be out of there. He's over there in Pennsylvania anyway. He should be doing pretty well, right? Because that's what I'm saying about it. Get off the sinking ship while you still can. There's no future on the left. They're gone. Progressive left, they have destroyed their own party because they're the minority group. They always have been, and they never, never, never. They always thinking they're trying to convince America that this minority ideology type of thinking that they have. They're trying to convince America that this is what America wants. We don't want this stuff. We don't want DEI. We don't want woke. We don't want all these binaries. We don't want all these. That is not how majority of Americans feel. We do not want it. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to push these things. This is not what Americans want, right? We want freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We want a real president that's going to stand up and fight for what is right, not wrong. And as far as I'm concerned, it don't matter if Chuck Schumer stays in that Senate seat or if he's replaced in 2028 and primary out or whatever the case may be to AOC. So be it. Like I told y'all before, I welcome AOC. I ain't got no problem with her. You know, but she's not gonna win overall. They're trying to groom her for the future president. And I can't really see anybody really putting money on her because it's gonna be a waste of money. Shit, if I was a billionaire or own some type of corporation, I'd be skittish as hell when I put money on her, in the long term because the policies they're pushing, we not buying. Straight like that. We're not buying this crap. Let's go and keep it 100, man. Shoot. You know, I like doing this stuff because it's enjoyable to me. But think about it, y'all. Y'all know yourselves that they party have been on the decline ever since. They have no policy, they have no message, they have lost the will of the people. Their policies don't align with the will of the people. Let's go on and keep it 100. They don't. We're gonna sit up in here and try to pretend. Yeah, the young people want to go with a younger face. I can see that. But look at her district. Look at Schumer. Look at their district in New York. They got this socialist Mondani and man, New York, man, it's sad to see how New York is going, man. It's just Gotham City, man. New York is Gotham City. If y'all if y'all ever watched Batman, right? Batman lived in Gotham, which is basically New York. The problem with it is you got a bunch of lawlessness. You got sociopaths running New York and corruption up the wazoo. You may as well call whoever, whoever the governor is. I forgot her name right now. They got the governor, you know what I'm saying? You got the mayor and all the rest of the stuff is like the Joker, the Penguin. The Joker and the Penguin and all the rest of them is running New York. You got crime, gangs, the mob. You got which how you want it? New York. New York always been corrupt though. Let's keep it 100. Dirty deals and shady deals behind. Come on now. This ain't nothing new, but it gotten worse, ladies and gentlemen. And Chuck Schumer is the actual senator over there, as well as you got Representative AOC, right? Her district. You look at what's going on over there: crime, violence, drugs, gang activity as well. But they want to sit up in here. She wants to sit up here, and she wants to be. She's running for the future president, and I really can't see her at all being the president. Seems like she do have a little bit more on the ball than Kamala Harris, that's for sure. Yeah, man, boy, man. What is this, Batman? We might as well call it Gotham City. I'm not next time. I'm gonna do another live, ladies and gentlemen, where I'm just gonna call Gotham City as New York, and then I'm gonna put the villains in there, and I'm gonna match the villains in Batman to the senators and politicians and mayors, because I think that's gonna be very fitting, man. I do be coming up with some real good ideas, man. Just for shits and giggles, man. Because I mean, it's sad though, man, as to what we're seeing right now, man. You know, it's really sad. And let's take a look at it for John Featherman. Featherman. Let me see here. Let's take a look at it. What's his big announcement? What? I'm not connected. What? What? Hold on. How am I not connected to the internet? Let me get back connected to the internet. What? 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 Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, I am not connected to the internet. Hold on. And I just don't seem to understand. And I just don't seem to understand. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right. The show must go on. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Whatever's going on with that, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. AOC, because we already know that she's coming for that seat. You know what I'm saying? We do know that. They'll make the announcement. Still early in the game still. But right now, Schumer is on the decline right now, right? That's exactly what it is. He's on the decline. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah, I gotta reset my. I'm gonna reset my password. It's saying it's not the right password. It's got corrupt. I'm gonna go ahead and reset that on the Wi-Fi. I ain't worried about that. But at any event, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that's the thing about it, though. As I talked about earlier, she's going to be running, and it's not for just a Senate, because you got to become a senator. Once you become a senator, you become a president, right? And the younger people are furious, as well as a lot of other leaders, right? Senators and so forth. They're mad as hell at Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader of the Democratic Party, man. I mean, these guys are pretty much toast. I don't see anybody else. I mean, Gavin got his hat in. You know what I'm saying? He got his hat in. Newscomb, he got his hat in for it. I don't see anything, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's really not a whole lot to talk about positive about these people at all, because they are an extension of where our country was and where it is. I mean, as far as where it was. Now, we already know there's been great changes since was and then and now. I mean, but was, ladies and gentlemen, look at our infrastructures and our roads and bridges, highways and byways, right? Look at what's been going on. You know, you got to have somebody to make some major changes in regards to that, because we already know where the money was being stolen and enriching them. The question would be for Chuck Schumer: how did you make $80 million, sir? Elizabeth Pocahontas, Peekaboo Warren, how did you make $70 million? and then for the rest of them. Because I mean, I know this. We know what a senator makes. We know what a congressperson makes. And these are questions, right? Because like I told y'all before, if I had a chance to be in the face of any of them, the questions would be, where did you make your money? Where did you make your money? That's the question. Because we know they don't have businesses. Most politicians are not business people. They're just people with law degrees that are senators. And pretty much all your senators, majority of them are have law degrees, as I said earlier. They know how to interpret the law, corporate law, and all the rest of this, right? Look at pull it up. You can Google it. I find that to be very interesting. You know, even Obama had a law degree, Clinton's and them, right? Pull it up. I just find it very, very, very interesting. And this explains the reasons why America has been on the decline, ladies and gentlemen. After I done got this AOC stuff and Chuck Schumer stuff out the way, because they're not trying to make change for the people. They're just trying to enrich themselves. Plain and simple. What would it take for a person, right, to be on the up and up and care about the American people? What would it take for a person that have shown us that jobs, tech jobs, solidifying the future of America, right? What type of person and what would it take, right, to protect our borders, right, and get illegal criminals out of America, right? What would it take? What kind of person does that and want to call a person a fascist, right? Makes no sense to me. We know who the fascist people are. The people that we have up there on my screen for my thumbnail, and many of and the rest of them. Because look how they have ran New York, a fascist. New York is a fascist. Look at it. The city there, I should say, it's a fascist city. New York is one of the worst cities when it come down to being liberal. I'm talking about liberty, pursuit of happiness, freedom, liberty. They don't believe in the Constitution. They hate the Constitution. Look how there are draconian laws on gun control or all this other stuff. You can't even get it's hard to get a CPL in New York. You got to show, I think they might have changed it a little bit, but you had to show a reason why you needed a CPL. And it's pretty obvious to protect myself. What do you mean? New York laws and everything makes no sense. This is why they destroy the city on purpose. This is purposely done by the progressive left, ladies and gentlemen. They have a mission to take America down, not to build it up. Okay, don't y'all see the handwriting on the wall? I'm talking about these lunatic lip. I'm not really talking about a lot of you guys are already in the know. I'm talking about some of these people that are mindless. They can't think for themselves, knuckle draggers, bottom feeders, that take everything that the Democratic Party give them. We've been on the decline ever since, you know, until a man had to step up, and that was Trump. Outside of that, look what's going on. Look what's going on. We don't look at it. I mean, we still trying to recover, still trying to get out of the recession, but they want to destroy America. And the way that you do it, it has to be within. You bring illegals into the country, right? Then you weaponize them, right? Then when they do get caught, you release them and put them right back out there. These are their foot soldiers to go out here and create mayhem, destruction, violence, repeat offenders, right? This is what they want. This is the plan, man. This is exactly what it is, right? The plan is to destroy America within, right? Overwhelm America with violence, criminals, because we know if Kamala would have got in there, it would have been times 10 in this country. We wouldn't even be in a space that we in now. Banks and so forth would have to run on the banks. You wouldn't be able to get your money out. The borders would probably be locked down, trying to get the hell out of America. All that was about to go down. Whether you want to believe me or not, just look around. The majority of the people do not rock with the left. They don't. Even moderates. I talked to a moderate yesterday in my car, and we had a great conversation. Now that's a real moderate. He wasn't one of these undercover Democrats trying to play like they're moderate. Because when you start triggering them, talking about, I get a lot of them in this room. They get over here talking about they moderates, and they really aren't. They just liberal Democrats. But right now, they know that being a Democrat today and having that stain, so they want to try to hide under the umbrella of moderate, and they're not. They're not. They're not moderates. Because I'm also in agreement as well. You should not give your allegiance totally to one side of the party. You want to try to stay as neutral as you possibly can. But if the right is making more sense, then you can join onto that party. Don't mean that you got to take everything that goes with it. But right now, the right better. I should never give 100% allegiance to unless if they're making some sense. If they're making sense. Trump knew better not to run as a Democrat because he would have had too much opposition in that party. When Trump was a Democrat, people loved Trump. It's going to keep it 100. They love Trump. Trump had it. I mean, when he was a Democrat, he really thought they were, and for the most part of it, they were like supposed to be for the voice of the voiceless, downtrodden people, middle, what's it, blue collar, right? This type of stuff before they started taking on these agendas, these progressive agendas that people don't even align with. And when progressivism started rearing its head, look what ended up happening. Obama started it though, to be honest, because he was the one that ushered in a lot of this foolishness. The division happened under Obama. You know what I'm saying? So, because when we had Clinton, I mean, Clinton did a lot of rotten stuff too, but it wasn't nowhere near the magnitude of what we're looking at right now, right? Because he brought in division. The LGBT weaponized the LGBTQ community, weaponized them. We didn't have no problems with the LGBT. They had their own communities. They put the transgender thing, they made that and the woke stuff and all that. It offended a lot of people. But they want to make it sound like the majority of people hate transgender and all these people. Hey man, you're an adult. Do whatever you want to do, as long as it don't affect my lifestyle. But I don't have to be reminded. I don't want to see it on the major screen because let's keep it 100. The transgender community alone is only 1%. How can 1% dictate the masses of what people want to see and want? It makes no sense, But they've been pushing this because they don't care. They have an agenda. They have to listen to their masters, the real oligarchs, right? The people that's above. They're only pushing agendas, right? To save their skin, right? To stay in that position. You think AOC want to go back to waitressing? She got a taste of being a representative, get a chance to fly on jets, wear pantsuits, be the boss. You think she want to go back to waitressing? Hell no, right? Getting tips, being talked down to. You think she still want to do that? No. This for her, it's a perfect job for a deadbeat. It's to go into politics. Most of them are not smart anyway, but if you could be a convincing good actor, there you go. Halfway look somewhat decent. That makes a lot of, you in order to be a congressman or a senator or whatever, you know, you gotta it's a certain aesthetics that would get you in the win the elections. I mean, that's exactly what it is. People don't care. They care about charisma, right? They want their president or somebody to talk nice to them, be politically correct. Oh yeah, by the way, they ended politically correct stuff. We already knew that. That been happened, but I'm just saying there was something else I read about. So we don't have to go by political correct anymore. Y'all stand-up comedians, you could be as raunchy and dirty and offensive as you can because we don't have to adhere to political correctness no more. That was a tool designed to keep people under control. It's a social rating mechanism, right? To deem people when they talk about somebody, you know? And I'm glad they got rid of that too. All the stuff that they have set up in place, they have been removed. We can go back to normalcy once again. And we know that they've been trying to destroy America because again, they have to listen to their masters, right? It ain't them per se that's leading charge. They're the ones that's the foot soldiers too, but they're barking out the orders from the top down to these politicians. You got to keep in mind, they control the politicians. I'm talking about unelected officials, right? Unelected. They control, right? People in politics, right? They control people, the judges, the AGs. We can go right down the list. These are the people that they control. That's why they were running welfare on Trump. I mean, lawfare, I mean. They were pushing lawfare easily because you have a lot of Obama appointed judges, some Clinton appointed judges, and they were able to do all the dirty work necessary to roadblock, put out injunctions, stop what Trump was basically trying to do. Or was he? Okay, they get. I was smoking yesterday though, man. I had some man, I had some of those troll haters coming to the room. It's so funny. Trolls do they make the live streams really, really, really fun, man. They really do. Boy, I tell you with the trolls, man. All right, Fadi. All right. Yeah, friend of mine. Yeah, but other than that, yeah. So they make it interesting, man. They really do. I don't know how these content creators get all bent out of shape because they think that I was gonna be like the rest of them, man. I see some content creators, man, they be losing their mind on these trolls, man. It's like it's not even because when you come in with factual stuff and what is really going on, you know what I'm saying? You can't be derailed off this stuff, man, because they just come in the rooms and trying to show, run opposition, you run these bots and all the rest of this stuff. Some of them I ignore because I know they're bots, man. I ain't gonna go over and waste my time on that because I know if I get one person or 10 people, I know I'm making a difference. And it's an old saying that goes, if you don't have no haters, you're not doing the work. You're something that you ain't doing right. When you got haters, you're doing something right. I always remember that, right? I've been called everything in the book. Uh, but the child of God, man, it's the truth. You got to have thick skin out here if you're gonna do this type of content work, you know. So that's the thing about it, though, man. It's just to me, it's obvious what the Democrat Party is doing. It's to destroy America. That's the agenda. Because we know that this stuff does not. It's not common sense. The they'll have great pushback on illegal immigration into this country, illegal aliens. You're going to have great pushback on that? It makes no sense. You can't even make it make sense at all. Really can't. You can't. And like I said, it don't matter if AOC, Chuck Schumer, it don't matter who is the future senator of New York. The outcome is going to be the same. But since Trump he told him he shut it down. He slashed a lot of jobs, cut because he said it was going to shrink the government anyway. They acting like they're shocked about it. You thought he was lying? No, this guy, he's a man of his word. This is why a lot of people rock with Trump. He's a man of his word. And Mondani got an 80% chance of being a mayor. We ain't scared of Mondani because when he try to get the funding, guess what's going to happen? He's not going to get it. I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you're living in New York, you may want to think about try to get out of New York while you still can. Because it's about to go Gotham. It's got to go dark Gotham 2.0 being in New York if he can't get the funding. He wants to get these socialist programs going on because he's a socialist. And we don't need no socialists in America at all. America was never built on socialism. We don't need Karl Marx. We don't need any other stuff. Marxism never worked nowhere. Show me where Marxism truly worked. We always ran a capitalistic society. That's ironic. It's hypocritical for these socialists and commies that want to sit up here and act like they have a better way when they've been over here collecting money. Aren't they capitalists too? Huh. These I can admit, I'm working for the money. Absolutely. But these hypocrites that sit up here act like they ain't doing it for the money. Bullshit, right? Yeah, that's the thing about it though, man. See how the hypocrisy is? Mondani's parents didn't believe that crap that Mondani's. I mean, this guy's a trust fund baby. Most of them are. Look at him. Trust fund baby. Isn't AOC a trust fund baby? Trust fund babies. Trust fund babies. Trust fund babies. Trust fund babies. I'm gonna do a special live on trust fund babies. We're gonna look and see who all the trust fund babies are. I think that'll be really good. Trust fund babies. Yeah, I think we're gonna need to do that. I'm sorry I didn't get back on some of y'all's comments yesterday. You know, I've been quite busy. Even today, man, I got to pick up right now. I'm at the end of the live. But I appreciate some of the participation, though. No likes, though, at all, or whatever, though. Wow. Not even one like. Wow. It's amazing. Oh, well, show still got to go on. I don't have to beg. You know, you like my content or not, you know, coming in or even, you know, whichever, you know. My other ones are doing pretty good, and I'm going to keep on doing it. Even if I have to do it again in a later thing, I will be revisiting this topic because I like the participation, though, you know, in regards to it. And most of you, though, you know, I understand. You know, being a conservative can even get you, you know, undeleted, which is sad. It's sad, though, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take these people where they gotta go, you know, over here in Detroit. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next live stream. Appreciate the likes too. Peace.